Okay, hold on. So the Hard Rock men's podium was 48, 48, 46.
We have hope, brother.
Yes, we do. Welcome back to the next aid station. I am your host, Jake Kilgore. Mick Garrison co-hosting over here. And that's an interesting shirt you have, Mick.
Oh, here we go. Look at that.
Wow, I can almost see your nipples.
That is an interesting hat, sir.
It's more interesting than the shirt you have on.
This is a gift from my wife. This is a profile of the Speedgoat, elevation profile. Hidden peak, baldy.
It's like two large breasts on your shirt.
You can see my nipples?
And I can see your nipples right at the peaks.
That's
Those
hot.
are not really hidden peaks, are they? Those are nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Well, this week is Speedgoat week, and it is also High Lonesome 100 week. We're going to break down and predict those two, but I would say second to only the DC Peaks, we mentioned the Speedgoat probably more than any other race on our show.
Oh, for sure.
And so I went back into the archives, dusted off the shirt. Look at this shirt I have on.
What year is that from?
If you're listening to this and not watching our YouTube channel, it's a big mistake.
It's a Hoka.
Mm-hmm.
They were still called Hoka 1-1.
Yep.
Oh, Skyrunner series. That was like when Killian ran.
Bro, this shirt, I don't know what year I got this hat in, but the hat is quite ridiculous. But I'm sure it really wicks away the sun and heat and just really protects your face and eyes. Look at that bad boy.
Yeah, that makes you go fast.
Yeah, this is a fast hat. So I got my Speedgoat hat on. I got my 2014 blue Speedgoat shirt. And I got my Speedgoat shoes on. Hoka Speedgoat shoes on that I ran.
You're ready to go.
The majority of Tahoe in. I'm just all geared out, dude. I'm super geared out for.
I can't believe you still have that shirt. And I certainly can't believe you still have that hat.
I have so many race shirts, but it's interesting. I only keep 2 or 3 in this little cubby drawer thingy that I just like bum around in a shirt in, or like it's a pajama shirt, or wake up and throw a shirt on. And the Speedgoat shirts are breathable, comfy. And I don't know, man. This one's got a lot of story behind it, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember 2014? July 2014, my very first ever trail race, very first ever ultra. And you introduced me to the Speedgoat. And there's a lot of stories in there.
Oh, yeah. Do I remember?
But do you remember my time?
I'm going to guess. I don't remember. I think that you were probably around 9.5 hours.
I was at 9:06. I don't even know how I finished.
This is we're halfway point of the race
Mm-hmm.
at Pacific Mine, which does not exist anymore.
I shut it down.
And I looked over at you. We were together. I looked over at you, and you're just slamming Red Bulls.
We were
not rock stars like you should have been. Red Bulls. No wonder you threw up,
dude. I was racing like it was a marathon. Like that's all I really knew was like road marathons. If something's downhill, you just go freaking balls out and just go hard. And
we went down Mary Ellen's Gulch hard.
It's probably the fastest I've ever gone down Mary Ellen's Gulch. And I was just going, which is like miles, I don't know, 12, 13, 14, 15, something like that. And then you hit this flat spot and it's just a 1 mile out aid station, 1 mile back. But going down Mary Ellen's going so fast, I already started like cramping because I didn't know how to like hydrate or electrolytes or nutrition. I even know what a goo was in 2014. Like, I don't know did NAC even exist in the United States? I don't know. And my good friend Mick didn't tell me like, hey, you should wear like a pack with like 2 liters of water. Did you know I didn't even have a pack on?
What, you rolled handheld?
Dude, I had a waist belt with 2 little water bottles, like I was
Oh, yeah, I
literally
remember
running a
those.
10K.
Well, they have aid stations, so I'm like, yeah, you're good. It's,
Yeah, you're good if you're gonna run a
there's
five
no,
and a half hour speed goat like Sage Canada or something.
yeah, yeah, okay. I mean, we learned.
So I got there. Yes, and I was like, "Oh, I'm cramping." And I asked the aid station people, "What should I do? I'm just cramping bad." He's like, "Oh, hit one of these Red Bulls." And I just slammed a shot of Red Bull, and I was like, "Hmm, that was good. Give me another one of those." Hit a second one, and I looked at you, and I was like, "This isn't good, dude." And I just "Bleh," everywhere.
I remember.
Right at the aid station. And that was welcome to ultra trail running.
I will say this about you. I think we separated a little bit
Yeah.
when I was climbing up Miller Hill out of there, and I thought he's gone. Like he
You left me for dead, dude.
I left you for dead. I'm like, he's not going to finish. If he does, he's going to be 2.5 hours behind me. You weren't. You rallied. I was like, you came in the finish, and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, I
That was
thinking
just toughness. That wasn't.
there was no strategy at all to that.
Yeah.
That was just like I probably didn't even know that you could DNF. I didn't know what that was. I was just like, I puked. The guy was like, "Yeah, sit down in this chair for a minute." I did. I wasn't using poles then. I didn't know what.
I didn't know I could DNF.
Yeah.
You just have to keep going.
I was like, "Yeah, you
This sucks.
gotta climb out of here." Well, I remember Carl said you cannot drop
Oh yeah, you can't drop down there.
down there because you got to go like through American Fork Canyon
Yeah.
somewhere.
It's like a 3-hour drive to get you. Or
Yeah, I
something.
remember someone telling me, it might have been you, like you can't drop there. I mean, I didn't really know what that was, but I had no poles, I had no nutrition. And this guy was like, "Yeah, just sit down." The aid station guy was like, "Yeah, just sit on this chair and like sip on this for a little bit." And I think he gave me just like a small cup of broth. And I was all worried, like you were leaving in time. And I just like drank half of this broth or the whole broth. And I was like, "Okay, yeah, let's go." And I just went. And I never saw you again until the finish line.
No.
And yeah, that shocked my body into like, this is really, really hard. Like, you can't just show up into a race in the middle or end of July. It's like 100 degrees, and I got a couple water bottles on my waist.
Well, he tells you, don't have this be Carl. Do not have this be your first 50K.
But you introduced everyone to the Speedgoat.
Uh-huh. And it was
Big-
my first 50K.
Yeah. But you have a lot of Speedgoats under your belt, sir.
So this is the 17th running this year. So that means there have been 16, and I have done 8. So I've been there for half of them. Well, I've been there for more than half of them, but I've run half of them.
You towed the line at 8 of these babies.
And you, yeah, between me, you, and Corey, Ben Dixon,
we got all of them.
yeah, we got it covered.
Yeah, I started and finished 5. I did 2014 and 15. And then
We did it together when you were in prison. You did your own version of
I did my
Speedgoat,
own. That's true.
right? I went and did Speedgoat. You did a 50K on the same day. It was
Yep.
all planned. We trained together, air quotes.
Yeah, why didn't I get a t-shirt
Yeah, Carl.
or a medal?
Maybe he didn't do medals then. He didn't used to do it, and then he started doing the speed goats.
Those goat
the
medals.
goats. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
At first he didn't do medals.
Yeah. So 14, 15, 18, 19, 20. Yeah.
20
18,
was
19, 20.
20 was funny because
Oh, it
Carl
was
Meltzer
great.
we did packet pickup at his house.
Yeah. He was so mad at everyone not doing it. It's like, "Oh yeah, you can do this," because I was supposed to be in Wasatch that year, and Wasatch and Bear were both like, "Nah, we're not doing it, COVID." And so you and I drove. Carl's like, "Yeah, we'll do packet pickup in my driveway." We drove to Sandy and just rolled into his house. He had all these packets, and I don't know if he had drop bags.
He had
in.
all these like speed goat shoes, all these old
Yeah.
shoes, and like
Yeah.
selling them. I love that dude.
That was incredible, dude.
So this guy from Vermont moves to Utah to be a ski bum. Gets a job up at Snowbird, like at the bar or something down.
Yeah, restaurant or bar or
Yeah.
something. Mhm.
And I believe he told me that somebody up there, like one of the managers at Snowbird, approached him and asked him, "Hey, do you think we could pull a race off if we did it here?" Got him involved that way. I think that's right. And they put together this route, which, if you know Carl, he's going to make you suffer. He likes it when people tell him to eat shit at the finish line. He likes that, dude.
Forget.
So he creates this super tough, because you don't accumulate elevation gain in this race. You just earn it. It's like straight up, straight down. There's no rollers.
There is not a single easy mile in that 50K. Not one easy mile. There's no gimmies. Straight up or straight down. Yeah, dude. When I finished 2018, I was barely not really trained. I just, got into the free land. I went and ran that race with I couldn't really train more than like an hour a day, basically. And it's the most pain I've ever been in.
This
from any
is
race.
when we saw gerbils running around inside of your legs.
This is when I was gerbs.
Your electrolytes were obviously completely off. All of your nutrition was in the bushes.
Oh, yeah, it was bad.
And you finish the race and you sit down. I have video. I wonder if I could find that. Of you laying there. You're screaming, dude. You're like, ah. And I just see, like, it looked like gerbils were running around in your legs up into your quads.
My quads, my hamstrings, my calves, my feet.
That's crazy.
I was just
We had to go get a
walking and
doctor. I'm
seizing.
like, what? He's going to die. What's happening?
And I'm sitting on the concrete steps at Snowbird, and Carl literally walks by me and just glances down and goes, and walked off.
I know.
I was like, he is enjoying that.
I know. I told you. He does.
I was in so much pain.
The doctor came over, put you in some compression boots. We had to carry you.
Bro,
I carried you with someone else.
I just kept drinking.
To your car.
I kept drinking like 2,000 calorie recovery milkshakes. What's his face?
He gave you those.
Who was it? Corey's.
Carter?
Carter
done.
Carter was like, just keep drinking these. I'm like, okay. I drank 8,000 calories in like 30 minutes. And then you and Bree's cousin, Pierce, picked me up and carried me to the car. You set me in Bree's car. And you're about to close the door. And I go, hold on, don't close the door. And I just
threw up all the 8,000 calories or whatever.
And then we started driving away. And I was better. And I leaned over to Pierce and I'm like, that is the coolest freaking race.
You're like, sign me up.
Yeah. I was like, I can't wait to do it next year. And Bree's driving and turns around and is like, what? And I'm like, that was so much fun. That was awesome. I had so much fun.
That's funny. Like, that's fun? Yeah. Well, that tells you right there why you became the trail runner that you did. Like, someone listening to that, like, that's fun.
Yeah.
You're excited to do that again. And then you just got faster and faster.
Yeah, I'm telling you that.
And then it became like, it wasn't me wondering when you were going to finish behind me and if you were going to finish, but you would text me because we had our phones.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm at the top of Baldy, bitch.
Yeah, I did.
and I'm like down at Mineral Base and I can see the top of Baldy. I'm like, dude, whatever.
You're an hour
I
away.
hate you.
Yeah. Yeah. I would text you. I'm at the top of Baldy and I just knew you were just like, no way.
It's so hard, but it's like such an accomplishment to finish that race. It's a challenge. Yeah. It's Snowbird. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a very special race. for both of us.
It is. It means a ton. It's awesome. Yeah. I'm looking through my times, which is crazy. Uh, the fastest time I ever had was actually 2015. 2014.
I'm gonna guess 7:45.
56,
7
7:56. So my first year, the puke at Mineral or whatever it's called, uh,
Pacific Mine.
Pacific Mine, where I puked at Pacific Mine with the 2 water bottles on my waist. 2014, 906. And then I was like, okay, this is like, you got to prepare for this. You got to train totally different. I can't go run the road. I got to like climb and climb and
Mhm.
climb for training. And I cut an hour and 20 minutes off from 14 to 15. And that ended up being my best time ever. Yeah, that race, I mean, sub 8 is really hard.
I never did that. I did an 8:23. I never got a sub 8.
Yeah, I got a 7. And then the last time I ever did it in 2020, I went 7:57. So my 2 fastest times, 7:56 and 7:57. It was everything I had to go sub 8. And that puts me in that event
Yeah,
like 30th place,
they're
40th
doing
place. They're so
these
fast.
guys are low 5s.
Yeah.
5 hours? 5 hours? You're 8 and I'm 8. You're depending on the year, you're like 4 hours faster than me.
Dude, I'm looking at doing
They are crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking at doing the mid-mountain marathon or mid-mountain 50K,
Yeah.
which we know is just the raddest trails. And I'm like, yeah, 5.5 hours mid-mountain. They're doing that the Speedgoat.
Speedgoat.
Almost 11,800 feet.
Do you remember Anton Krupicka?
Yeah.
He's there. I'm standing there. The Anna Frost, Ricky Gates, Anton, Killian.
All the old school dudes.
Yeah, Max King. These guys are all just standing there, and I'm like, I know who they are. I'm like, this is crazy that they're here.
12.
They're Ricky and Anton are like racing. I don't know who won this year, but I remember them back then when you left Hidden Peak 2. So you're 26 miles into the race. It's all downhill from there. You just run down the service road basically to the finish. That's not how it is anymore. But these guys were running like in the 5s.
Yeah.
After doing all of that climbing. I mean,
A mountain marathon, a literal mountain marathon.
uh-huh. Yeah, just
Which means they'd
flying.
climbed over 11,000 feet.
It was,
26 miles.
Yeah.
And they're just going to
it was like 11,800.
And that
something like that.
That race, this race, the Speedgoat, for the longest time now, and I talked about this. So I had Carl on the podcast last year. We talked for over an hour. And I remember asking him last year, like, are you still able to get the elite runners? And then how do you get them? And they've always done a really good job. I don't know if it's probably a combination between Carl being who he is and it being a Hoka event. They have always attracted just speedsters.
Yeah.
Which I believe I was in prison 2016 or 17 when Hayden ran it. I remember you like writing me an email about it saying
I hung out with him. He was just standing there by himself after winning the Speedgoat.
But I remember you saying like he signed up like the week before and Carl just let him in.
I think it was like the day before.
Some guy told Carl, yeah, he's pretty fast. Like you should let him in. Carl's like, okay.
Yep.
Let him in. Then he
smoked it. I'm just standing. I got a picture with him. I tried to find it because I was going to send it to him. Be like, hey, old buddy.
Hey, friend.
Hey, remember when we used to hang out? You should come run DC Peaks.
Come on over, Aiden. Yeah. So yeah, they've always done a great job. This year, now that it's a UTMB event, so both races that we were predicting this year, we're kind of bah humbuggy about for one reason and one reason only. It's hard for us to research runners that when the race isn't on ultra sign up.
Mm-hmm.
We've discussed this a few times on the pod, and that just takes a lot more time and effort. But we did a pretty good job dividing and conquering. So let's hit our pre-race preview of Speedgoat first.
Okay.
How do you feel about the racers in the event this year, Mick?
I feel like, at least on the top level, there are some very, very fast people that have multiple winners are racing this year. So it's on.
And the course is a little different. They've changed that course over the 17 years, I would say at least 10 times.
Uh-huh.
At
Yep.
least 10.
Which is actually good as a race director for me to hear, because that, like, I don't like that with course records and stuff like that. So it's good to see, like, yeah, sometimes that happens. Like, I have done Speedgoat where you had to hold a rope and go down some sketchy stuff.
Oh yeah, one of those years with all the snow, we would just butt scoot and just
Butt scoot.
slid all the way down, just a old butt sled.
Oh yeah, that
All the
I
way
remember
down.
that year. That was something.
That was 2020.
2020?
The
Yeah.
last year I did it. Yeah, it was 2020.
That was actually fun. That was
The last
intense.
year both of us
The
did it, right?
whole bowl
The
coming
entire
down
bowl,
off of
like mile 28 to
Uh-huh.
mile 30 or whatever.
Yeah, that
whatever.
was really fun.
Yeah. Flying. So
I see that David Sinclair is back. Jake. David Sinclair did Speedgoat in an 823 like me, or 824.
I'm like, what?
No. 509.
Is he the current course record holder?
I don't think so.
Because back in the day when we were running it, Sage
was-
Canada ran it like 3 years in a row and was like 506,
There's been
507, 508.
Sage has had it.
Mhm.
Killian kind of had it.
Yeah.
He had the switchback things.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jim Walmsley had it. Yeah, maybe Ricky Gates had it.
Was Hayden close his year? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
So these guys,
But Adam Peterman might hold the course record.
and he's back this year.
Yeah.
And our local dog, Zach Gardner, is back.
I know.
He has raced this before, correct?
I don't know that.
Or is this his first year? So Sinclair's experienced with it. Peterman is. Zach Gardner is local, so even if he hasn't raced it, who cares? He's probably trained it. And he's been in Europe racing. I don't know, dude. There's a couple others like Sam Hendy, Ryan Becker. They're on the watch list. I can't take my eyes off those first three.
I know. Because I actually have never heard that Zach did it. But he's so fast.
So we mentioned
But
Zach.
I think
yeah.
Adam is the record holder. I'm pretty sure. And if you're doing Speedgoat in that time,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be very hard to pick against him.
Yeah, I don't remember what Peterman just did a race. So Adam Peterman won Western States 2022. So 2 years ago, 3 races ago. Had an injury, had a thing, took a break, whatever. And his kind of comeback race was the Buffalo Run right here locally that I was in. The Buffalo Run 50K. And I can't even tell you how fast he was running because it was 2 laps of the same thing. So I saw him several times. He was flying. And then I was like,
I don't get it.
That's freaking Adam Peterman. But he's had a race in between this one and in between Antelope and Speedgoat. And it's blanking my mind right now, but I'll quickly look it up. I don't know how close. I feel like he and Zach, I don't know David Sinclair other than seeing his times. But knowing what Zach did last year at the Bear.
I know. He was like low 17s.
1709 or 1711, something like that. Destroying the course record. And he's kind of like really stepping into, I think, who he is as a runner and running hundreds and coming back to the 50K distance. I wonder what that does to like your speed and strategy.
He's going to be like, oh, that was fun.
Oh, yeah. He'll just like, is it like a warm up run for these? Like, if
I asked Jim Walmsley that when he was sitting there after he won. I'm like, hey, how's it going? You don't look very tired, because I know what it feels like to do Speedgoat. He's like, oh, I was breathing. I'm like, were you?
You're breathing.
You were breathing. That's good.
You're breathing.
I was breathing heavy.
That makes me feel a lot better.
That you can ask my wife about the Jim Walmsley Speedgoat picture. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He was packing.
That picture.
Yeah, dude.
It's on her ceiling in the bedroom.
Uh-huh.
Okay, he raced Adam Peterman. He raced Antelope Island Buffalo Run 50K and set the course record in 3:27. Just a 3.5 hour 50K out at the Buffalo Run.
Yep.
That's so fast.
I can't run a downhill marathon much faster than that. I did what I do, 3:07.
Yeah. Yeah. Does
So
big Cottonwood Marathon?
Downhill, I'm barely beating him
On road.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then about 4 weeks later, he hit the Canyons 100K, UTMB 100K. He placed 13th in 9:58. And then he went, that's where he went. Okay, he went to Pocatello, did Broken Arrow. Wait,
how
is
does
Broken Arrow
he
in Pocatello? Wherever Broken Arrow
how
is.
does he do 13th place? Ever.
I mean, you know who's in those types of races? Sorry, Broken Arrow's in Lake Tahoe. I was getting it confused with the last one. But yeah, so he goes to Lake Tahoe and does Broken Arrow. And you know, he took third at Broken Arrow with a 4 hour and 12 minute 46K. So 46K. You know who won Broken Arrow?
David Sinclair.
Yes.
Oh, no way.
You just guessed that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. David Sinclair won it. He beat him by 11 minutes just 4 weeks ago. Not even. Yeah, 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, they were freaking battling, dude.
Okay.
David Sinclair.
Oh, this
Adam
is
Peterman.
fun.
Are you going to go?
I got to go up.
I'm going to be out of town. I need you to go represent.
Okay.
So David Sinclair from California, Adam Peterman from Missoula, Montana, and Zach Gardner from Utah. I'm sure the watch list is deeper than that, but I don't know how you take your eyes off of any of those three dudes.
We're picking those for our podium. Now, pick a winner.
We've gone over this before, and I draft and pick somewhat with my heart. Like, I want Zach to win. That's who I want to win.
He's on your team.
He's on my team. He was my number 1 pick.
He was your number 2 pick.
You went. Who's my number 1? Because you drafted
Not him.
Hayden.
Yep.
And I drafted
Nope.
not Hayden. Not Zach. Huh. Help us out, producer. I don't remember who I drafted, but I don't care. But he's on my team.
Yeah, he was.
Yes. So if I have to pick a winner between those three, yeah, I'm gonna go with Zach Gardner.
Okay.
I'm going with Zach.
That would be really fun if he did that.
Who are you taking?
I'm gonna go with David Sinclair to win it.
Like he's gonna hold off Adam Peterman for a second time.
I mean, if Adam wins, I would just be like, yeah,
of course he won. Yeah, I was right.
I have to pick someone.
You have to pick someone. Okay.
I'm watching those three.
Okay. So I'm taking Zach Gardner. You're taking
Caleb Olson.
Oh, that's who I took. Wow. That was out of nowhere in the middle of our Speedgoat. Correct. I took Caleb Olson number 1, and then you took Tyler Green, and then I took Zach.
Yep.
There we go. Good job.
Thank you.
Wow. Great memory. It was like a week ago. Wow, it's phenomenal. I'm so impressed with your memory.
Just lay up in bed. Caleb Olson.
Out of nowhere. You just sat out of bed, screamed it. Okay. All right. So recap our podium and your pick, my pick.
Okay. So for the Speedgoat podium, we are going with Adam Peterman, Zach Gardner, your winner, and David Sinclair, my winner.
So you're going David Sinclair. I am going with local dog, Zach Gardner.
Yep.
How about the ladies' field? How's the ladies' field looking?
Okay. Well, word on the street is to watch for Cody.
Yes.
Did you get her last name?
Yep.
And
She's fast. I don't know.
we have a Cody
Yep.
doing DC Peaks this year.
But the Cody doing Speedgoat is KODI.
So is ours.
Oh,
Learn our roster.
I will study it. But I'm waiting until race week for our predictions. So we have Cody, but we have been told the two to watch: MK Sullivan, Jasmine Lowther. Lowther? I think it's Lowther. Lowther. Jasmine and MK and Cody.
Okay.
So that's our podium.
It's hard. It's hard to, like you mentioned, to do it without ultra sign up.
So hard. I don't have 4 days to research every runner and then look at all the races they've done and look at their times. You know what I did for High Lonesome? High Lonesome?
Chat GPT.
I tried. It just wouldn't cooperate. So I just scanned every name on there. And I was like, yep, I know that name. I know that name. I know that name. You know who's in that race? I'm going to give you 3 men's names and 3 women's names. I guarantee you know them. And they'd probably be on our podium, even if I don't need ultra sign up. I think we know the sport well enough to know the names of people who are going to perform in 100 milers these days. Because the pool is so small. This is High Lonesome, little background history. High Lonesome, this is its 7th year. So it's a fairly new race. Its first year was 2017. It's 23,500 feet of climbing in the Sawatch range of the Colorado Rockies, which is like the Continental Divide and the Colorado Trail. It's got both of those. Primarily, the entire course is on the Continental Divide and the Colorado Trail, directly east of Colorado Springs. So go to Denver, drive south an hour and a half, and then, so if you're going from Salt Lake, you're just rolling.
Probably
Probably
up 70.
Way. Yeah. And it's basically a loop. It's basically a big loop. It's like almost a full loop, or in that general area. But it's now a lottery. After a few years, became a lottery.
Good
high
for
demand.
him. That's cool.
Dude. I'm pumped for them.
Yeah.
Such a cool event. The highest elevation is like a little over 13,000 feet, but 23,500 feet at elevation.
Yeah.
In Colorado.
That's tough. That's tough.
That's something. So this race, the High Lonesome is actually on my race of like races. I think I put in for the lottery last year. I'm going to put in for it again this coming year. But it's going to be a race that I want to do in the next 3-4 years.
I looked up some pictures of it. It looks pretty sweet.
Looks unreal. And
that's similar climbing to Wasatch.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're just at higher elevations the whole time. Biggest difference. They're probably steeper climbs because you're in Colorado, and that's just what you get out there is steeper climbs. Here's the names that I just quickly scanned. Jeff Browning.
Really?
Is in the race. So he was commentating day 1 at Hard Rock this last weekend.
Oh, he's just up there acclimating. And
just hanging out at Hard Rock he was probably out there. He's probably in Silverton or wherever for a week or 2 and then just rolled up and he's going to race.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I have not seen the list, just so we're straight.
Mark Hammond, Utah
nice.
Guy.
Yes.
He is right around a top 10, I want to say Hard Rock last year.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And Alex Nichols.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've run with him for a second when he's done Speedgoat a lot.
Is he a Utah runner?
No. I think he's from Colorado. I think he's a lawyer from Colorado and trains on the side and crushes.
So I wasn't able to like really dig into like who the best runners are. So that is our podium.
Oh, that's so fun.
Jeff Browning, Mark Hammond, Alex Nichols.
Okay, I'm going Jeff Browning to win it.
I cannot argue. I can't argue. So 2023, last year, you know who set the course record? He's on your team. He's on your Utah men's
Tyler Green.
team. Jimmy Elam.
Oh, he did?
Set the course record and won it last year. So he set the course record in 1942. So the question would be, on the men's side of the High Lonesome 100, does the winner go sub 20 hour? Yes or no?
The record from Jimmy Elam is what?
1942.
Am I wrong? Or does it feel like every time we watch a race lately, they're like, course record?
You are right.
That's how I feel.
Courtney set her course record by like 3 minutes. And Ludo beat
Killian,
uh
not Francois. It was Killian's record by like 4 minutes.
he set the record. So both records were set last weekend at Hard Rock?
Yeah.
Ludo and Courtney.
Because it was like the clockwise. Yeah.
Yeah. So Killian set the clockwise, but he also beat the counterclockwise, no?
I didn't hear that part.
Okay. So, yes, I'm with you. How is everyone breaking these records every year? I mean, not every year, but
It seems like a
yes.
lot. So
seems like a lot.
I mean, you said that it was Jimmy Elam last year.
He just said it last year. It's only his 6th year of running it. So, who ran it the first 6 years? Were they big names? Like, there's all those variables. But right around year 5, 6, 7, races start to hit her out.
Head to head in a 100-miler with 23,000 feet of climbing, Jimmy Elam can beat Jeff Browning. But Jeff Browning can beat Jimmy Elam.
So is Jeff.
So
yeah.
I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I would not be surprised at all if Jeff Browning beat the record. But that's not what you asked. You didn't say, would you be surprised?
Yeah, I'm just saying he's going to go sub 20.
He's so fast, dude. I mean, temperature comes into play.
He's going to have Alex Nichols on him. And Mark's not going to be far behind.
I kind of feel like, to be straight, like I kind of feel like he'll pull away from Alex.
So I'm going to say this for us.
He may pull away from both of them, dude. I don't,
Yeah.
unless I hear some other names, I think that he is going to win that race handily.
Just like every race, there's always a name or two in there that, you know, we missed or didn't know or didn't have time to research or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he sure.
So on
he
behalf,
could go sub 20.
On behalf of
What did he do? What did he do Wasatch in?
On behalf of
It was like close to 21.
Yeah. On behalf of the next aid station, I'll make this simple for us and our followers and our team.
Okay.
I am going to say, hold that thought. Jeff Browning took second last year in the Wasatch 100 in 21:34.
Yeah.
So I am going to say that
I don't know that he was like super fresh.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't care. You towed the line.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
He's a veteran, bro.
He can run 7 100s in a year.
Is he ever fresh? No, he's always coming off at something.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm going to say that Jeff Browning wins it, but he doesn't need to go sub 20 to win it with the field that is represented.
Oh, that's a good point. Like because I actually don't think Alex will be pushing him like.
Bro, he's not as fast as Jimmy.
Well.
In today, Jeff versus Jimmy in 100 with 23,000 feet.
Yeah, you're like,
if Jeff was in this year's Wasatch 100, I'm not picking him over Jimmy.
I wouldn't pick him over Chepe.
Right. So,
but if it was a 250 miler,
Yeah.
in Arizona? Would you pick him?
I would pick him to win. I'd pick him to lead for 237 miles.
Would you pick him to beat Jimmy Elam and Jose Cruz?
Not in the Wasatch 100. I would not.
No, but in Cocodona?
Yes. Heck yeah. 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 I'm taking Jeff. So, on behalf of Next Aid Station, we are going to take Jeff Browning, Mark Hammond, Alex Nichols. That is our podium for the High Lonesome 100. Jeff Browning wins it over 20 hours, sub 21. I think he's between 20 and 21. Women's. I did the same thing. I just scanned them. There's only 200 runners in this race. They opened their race with 150, and they just recently got bumped to 200. So it's not a lot of runners, which means not a lot of women to choose from. These names stuck out because we know who they are. Casey Lichty, and they are twins. I was going to say sisters or twins, but they're definitely sisters. For sure they're sisters, and I'm 99% sure they're twins. Melissa and Sarah Ostaszewski.
Oh, I thought it was just one person. Just kidding.
They are one. So I'm picking that. So those three are my watch, and those are the podium. I hope to see a sister duel. I don't know how often those two race the same events and go at it.
Yeah, that would be fun.
They're good. They're very, very fast.
You missed
very
out
strong.
on the couple podium at Western.
I know.
So,
but the couple podium at Western, they went top 10.
yeah, no, I'm
That's-
saying fun to cheer for these type of things.
So we want these two sisters on the podium.
Great.
So
Who do you want to win out of those two? Look into the camera and say it.
I want Sarah Ostaszewski to win. That's what I'm cheering for. You can take Melissa.
Absolutely.
I'm taking Sarah.
Melissa.
Melissa and Jake Sarah. Ostaszewski. Now, the question would be this. The course record for the High Lonesome women's was set in 2022. So just 2 years ago by Annie Hughes. We know her name for sure.
Yep.
She ran it in 23:40.
That's fast.
So does the winner have to go sub 24 to win it this year? No. So we're going to take the over on the women's 24, over on the men's over 20.
No
Wins it
course
this year.
records this year.
No course records at High Lonesome. I also want to bring up the fact that there are a few other names in the field that I think should be on our watch list, purely based off of their name. Jenny Jurek,
Oh, cool.
from Colorado. Have no idea.
Yes, you do.
Any relationship with
Jurek.
Scott?
No, she's going to win it.
She's now on our podium. Okay, how about this name for the men's?
Andrew Meltzer.
You're close, dude. Just wait. Colorado's Kevin Canaday,
Oh, nice.
Sage's son.
His
Kevin.
son.
He's 45. Kevin Canaday from Colorado. I got one more for you.
Okay.
This guy from New Jersey is going to set the course record.
The unit.
Yep. Jersey Shore. Wait for it. He will set the course record and win the High Lonesome 100
Oh,
and then retire.
okay.
Constantine Walmsley.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a wild name.
And he's going to win it.
Yep.
So our other podium, the other next aid station,
Walmsley,
Canaday,
Canaday,
Jurek.
Jurek. What a field.
Might as well. I think that's our podium. 1 female and 2 men podium.
That's an excellent watch list. Good
Yep.
job, bro.
There was a Julie Schmall
Hmm.
and Bill Scum,
Hmm.
just to be noted.
Okay.
Those were fun. You know what we didn't do today? We didn't recap Hard Rock. We kind of mentioned a few things. First of all, the live stream, I would say, lived up to the hype and was awesome. I don't care.
I did.
I don't care.
I did.
I already know.
I wouldn't say that I mean, it's not like I didn't enjoy it. I definitely enjoyed it.
Mhm.
Give me the drone.
They don't allow drones
I know.
in
I'm not knocking
Silverton
them at
or
all.
anywhere over there.
I'm not knocking
I
them.
don't care about the drone. You know what I don't like about the live stream? The troll guy in the chat. There's always these trolls in the chat.
Oh, you read the comments?
When I put up on my phone, it just comes up.
I X that out.
I do as well. But I like to read the comments and watch it on TV. Because if I'm watching it on TV, you don't see the chat. But I want to see the chat because they'll give you insight about certain runners and certain things. And like they have lots of just information they're feeding to the commentators. So I like to see that. But troll guy in the live stream who's like talking crap about what's wrong with the connection or the feed.
Oh,
like,
geez.
why can't it's not even smooth? I can't read the bib number. I can't. It really bothers me.
Yeah, that's pretty lame.
Which is cool because what's funny is when someone says something like that in the live, everyone just freaking jumps on them. Yeah, you don't know what it's like, man. Remember when we didn't even have cell phones?
Do you know where they're trying to record?
First
or
of all, do
film?
you know where they are
Yeah.
in the planet trying to get reception?
Did you pay for this?
Yeah.
Or-
You know, yeah. You know what? Someone would comment and be like, yeah, why don't the best way to help the live stream next year is why don't you go volunteer 2 days and just spend 2 days in the mountains with everyone else volunteering? So everyone just jumps down someone's
See
throat.
how defensive I got?
Yeah,
That's why I don't read the comments. I sit back and enjoy.
I just want everyone to enjoy the amazing technology that is coming to the sport.
Most people do.
No
matter what you do,
Yeah.
no matter where you
You're-
are,
yeah.
do you have 100 people? There's going to be a couple that are jerks.
Mm.
That's it.
You blacklist them off the chat room. Okay, so that's my first takeaway because we didn't go to it, but watching it, awesome. I love that the major events, the biggest, not the biggest, but right now Wasatch, Hard Rock, and it's coming
Western.
to more and more races. Sorry, Western and Hard Rock?
UTMB, Hard Rock. They all
Live
you can watch
stream.
them all. It's awesome.
So that's awesome. We nailed our picks. We had the top men, top women.
Hit or miss.
Yes. You know what we hit? All 3 women. Podium. And of course, we picked Courtney to win. On the men, we went 2 for 3. You know who we picked to take 4th?
Schlarb.
Jason Schlarb.
I felt like I was naming him and you took a shot at his age.
I will say this.
I'm going to say that's a slight miss on your part. And then I let you bully me.
I bullied you, and I am going to apologize live on air. I did say Schlarb would take 4th.
We talked about if he could race.
Yeah.
Courtney.
Yes. It was Ludo and Francois up front. And I felt so bad for Francois.
Yeah. He had a rough day.
Oh my gosh. We were just clear he was going to win.
Uh-huh.
So I would say that's our miss.
It was. I mean, it was kind of interesting or cool or what, like there was something where I was like, oh, he's a human being. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Usually I would say if we pick a winner who DNFs, it's not necessarily a miss, like a big miss. I will say we did big miss it because Ludo set the course record.
Yeah.
Like even a healthy Francois may not have even beat him if he didn't DNF.
Sure.
The fact that Ludo set the course record was like, no, we missed it, bro. We missed the fact that now we had Ludo on our podium with Diego. So we got that right. But Diego and Jason Schlarb were going back and forth.
So we got 5 of 6.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think we nailed it.
That's a hit.
Yeah, dude. So we went 5 of 6. But that was not having Francois for the second half of the race and just barely missing out on Zach Miller.
Oh, yeah.
I think we really missed Zach in because we could have had 5 runners really battling for the podium. But those 3 broke away and it was like they were locked podium for a long time.
Yeah, that was a different experience than Western.
Yeah. So it didn't make it much of a quote unquote race after about, you know, U-Ray or, mile 50, 60, somewhere in there. It was like, yeah, it looks like these three are going to just hang on. Um, but I think it was really cool to see Schlarb back. He's had a rough 3 years with
Uh-huh.
his knee and
Yeah.
I know he had surgery or whatever
Yeah, he
on his
did.
knee and all this stuff. And like, he lives there. Like, that's his hometown. He's been living there for 10 years. And for him to touch that rock and take third at your age, 46, Diego Pazos is 48.
Yeah.
What's happening in the sport? If course records are being broken all the time, and the older runners get, they're aging like fine wine. Okay, hold on. So the Hard Rock men's podium was 48, 48, 46.
We have hope, brother.
Yes, we do. I'm going to keep putting in.
Isn't that interesting?
I'm shocked by that. Is that, I wonder if that's the climbing takes away those fast, rolly hills that like a Zach Gardner, Jimmy Elam just fly on. Because the climbing is just like, you got old man strength. You're just old manning it to the top and then old manning it to the bottom.
I would agree with what you're saying because I wouldn't pick them to win a fast Western.
I mean, Ludo top tens. Does Francois even run Western?
He's done it, yeah, but it's
Okay.
not. I think
Yeah,
he's
not
like
gonna
in the
win.
16s.
Yeah. Yeah. There seems to be two types of runners in general, unless you're a freak like Killian or Jim.
Or Courtney.
Or Courtney. You can actually go run the fast Western and win, or podium, or you're a climber.
Uh-huh. Courtney also wins Moab 240.
Yeah, she wins Tahoe 200. She probably would win the Davis High 10K too.
The DC Peaks 25K on October 5th.
9 a.m. start time. Yeah.
We got a free entry for you.
Yep. Yeah, those are rare beasts in our sport.
Yep.
They can do both.
That's very, very cool.
If you can top 10 Western and then go podium Hard Rock, or podium one and top 10 the other. I mean, top 10ing Western. Okay, what's harder? The top 10 Western or podium Hard Rock? Because top 10 Hard Rock does not compare to top 10 Western.
I think it's harder to. You said top 10?
Western, because there's way more runners, first of all. Hard Rock has 150 runners, so half the runners. That's why I'm like, top 10ing, if you top 10 at Western.
I don't know.
That's either way, you have to be a pro elite athlete. I'm gonna put it that way.
I think that's pretty like
Pretty
if you would have
comparable.
said to podium Western, I would say that's harder. But that's not what you said. You
Yeah.
said top 10.
Yeah, I think top 10 Western is equivalent to podium Hard Rock.
I like that.
Because top 10 Hard Rock, like that's where Chepe is. Chepe took like 11th. People right around
That's like 30 hours.
8, people right around 9, 10, 11 at Hard Rock. That is not the same as 9th, 10th, and 11th at Western. Not even close.
No.
Yeah, that's probably like 25th and 30th, 40th. Yeah. Very interesting. This has been fun.
Yeah.
So I have one last question.
Okay.
So we had people, so we know Tara Warren locally.
Yep.
Who finished Hard Rock on her quest to the Rocky Mountain Slam. She's now 2 for 2. She's got Bear and then 2 weeks later Wasatch to complete the first women's Rocky Mountain Slam since 2016. A female has not done that in 8 years.
Oh, nice.
She's going to do it. I'm convinced. She has made it past Hard Rock.
That was the one.
That was the one.
Yep.
That was the one. She just made the cutoff, I'll say. The cutoff is 48 hours. She did it in 45 and a half. So she's got 2 more to go. Anything can happen. We're all cheering for her. My question is this. Francois DNF'd.
Yep.
So did Tara beat Francois?
I actually heard some people talking about this. That's interesting. The one of the announcers said at Hard Rock, he said he used to battle Carl Meltzer. And they said, "Did you ever beat him?" He said, "Yeah, once at Western." He goes, "But does it count if he DNFs?" And I'm like, "No, well, maybe, yeah." And then I was like, I think it depends on why they dropped out. Like if you strategically did something stupid, you went out too hot and you blew up your legs, and then you have to drop because of that. Yeah, they beat you. That was a dumb thing to do. If they catch a toe and they get hurt, did you really beat them? I mean, it's part of it. If you're an MMA fighter,
what if you miss
and
a turn? What if you miss a turn and go off course? And you're like,
would you go around saying like, I did race Killian Jornet, and he got DQ'd for cutting the switchbacks at Speedgoat. So did I beat him? I'm gonna go around and be like, yeah, well, I beat Killian Jornet one year.
Well, I would answer it this way. Yes. It's black and white to me. You started the race with me. I finished before you. I beat you. I'm not going to go around, I beat Killian or I beat so-and-so who DNF'd.
But if somebody said to you, have you ever beat Killian Jornet in a race? You would say yes?
I would say the only time I've ever been in a race with him, he DQ'd and I finished the race. So
why do you have to qualify it?
By technicality, I beat him, but I would never, ever have a shot at beating that dude in any race ever.
So then really you don't count it.
I mean, it's on my ultra sign up as a finish with a time, and it's on a DNF on yours or his. It's a great debate. I would say, yes, you beat him.
I mean, you started the race together. You have a finishing time.
And
they don't.
I got a belt buckle and you don't.
Tortoise and the hare.
No, so he's still coming?
No.
Oh, you're the tortoise.
Yeah, you're the tortoise.
Yeah.
And he whatever happened, and he's faster than you, but he didn't.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't have kicked that rock with his toe. He probably shouldn't have cut the course. He probably shouldn't have missed a turn. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you, but like, okay, Tahoe 200. I took third place.
Yeah.
I should have taken fourth.
Did you beat Killian?
Did I beat Killian Korth? Killian Korth dropped out at mile 152. It propelled me into third. 2 guys on my butt. I had to hold those guys off. So I beat them. Clearly, they finished. I beat them. I was ahead of them.
Yeah.
Did I beat Killian Korth?
The question is that I think that the way it has to be viewed is if you believe, no, you didn't beat him, they have to finish the race. If both people finish the race,
clearly there's a winner.
Then you beat him or you didn't beat him. If one of them doesn't finish the race, it's a no contest. That they're out.
So you would not say, I beat him. What? What's the verb? I finished and he didn't finish.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but I don't know how you would express that.
I don't know. It's an interesting question. I could see both ways. We both started the race and I finished and he didn't, so I beat him. I can see that. I can also see, no, you both have to finish in order to say you beat him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What if you have to pick a side? Pick a side.
If I had to pick a side, I would say I beat him. If I have to pick a side, I'd be like, yeah, that's part of the race. That's part of the sport. You got to finish all 100 miles, all 200 miles. Anyone behind you, anyone that starts the race that doesn't finish or finishes behind you, you beat them.
Because, like I said, it could be a strategy error on your part. Could be bad luck. but it could be that you did something, you weren't paying attention and you missed a turn. Well, that's part of the race and that's
Yep.
on you.
Yep.
So I beat you. I'm
Yep.
not as fast as you. I wouldn't have beaten you, but I did.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, I think so. I think it's you beat him, and that's the race. That's the sport. That's the side I'm on, man.
what if they finished the race, but they got DQ'd for cutting the course?
Alien style.
Yeah,
Well, he got DQ'd.
but he still was 3.5 hours ahead of me.
Well, no wonder he cut all those trails.
So I beat him.
Yeah, because he cheated and cut courses. This isn't Europe. This is Sandy, Utah. Killian Jornet. Stop cutting the trails in 2013.
Yeah, no, I didn't beat him.
No,
I
you
can't
didn't.
roll with that.
No, I can't either. But he did get DQ'd. So, okay. Last and final thing to wrap up today's podcast. I'm going to hit you with something you're unprepared with, and I also am unprepared. I just know it's going to be fun.
Okay.
Our draft for today. Top 5. Night before pre-race dinner. What are you eating?
Okay.
Who had the first pick last?
I did because I took Hayden Hawks.
Okay, so I'm first pick.
Yeah. I haven't. You're not kidding. I have no.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to go with I want hamburger.
Oh,
Number 1, hamburger.
just hamburger. Just like a
Big old.
plate of
I
hamburger.
mean, that entails like, do you want the bun? Do you want
Hang on.
all the stuff on it?
Is
I
this
want
for
hamburger.
Is this for me or is this for like I'm drafting
You're
a team for the masses, like for people?
Okay, we are going to draft a team for you, and then the masses are going to comment on, is that a good pre-race meal? No, that's terrible. Why are you drafting?
Because obviously everybody wants pasta.
Okay.
That's like the thing.
You're going to draft. Okay, sure. Most common? Are we going to do like most common?
I don't eat that before a race.
You don't race.
I have raced plenty.
What did they eat back then?
When was the last time I raced? Okay, I'll race this year.
Okay, bet. Just don't get too technical. What dinner are you going to eat the night before the race? I am taking hamburger. You're taking.
I want a club sandwich. Sourdough turkey. Let's
You
go.
could have taken that night.
Well,
Okay, great. Enjoy your club sandwich. I want lasagna.
okay, I'll take spaghetti.
Steak.
Hamburger and steak.
Big old juicy ribeye steak.
Okay. I'll do. People aren't going to like this.
Because it's going to go with your.
You know what I would
Sandwich.
eat? I'm not even kidding you. I would eat a burrito bowl from Chipotle. Like that. And
Okay.
I wouldn't be wrecked. I would do that.
Okay. You got burrito bowl number 3.
This is terrible.
That's terrible. Now, everyone, pay attention. This is why Mick doesn't finish his 100 milers. Listen to his pre-race meal.
Did you know that hits your knee directly? Chipotle.
If you eat Chipotle bowl, your knee is done at mile 72 every time.
Yes.
All right, number 4. With the number 4 pick, pre-race dinner night before, I am going to go breakfast. I'm going to go with a 3-egg omelet with hash browns.
Okay, I like it. I'm going to go with a big Costa Vida chicken salad.
So you're not going to make any of your meal. I do all homemade meals the night before. You're doing like...
Well, I
I'm
can
gonna
make
roll
the
in.
spaghetti.
Okay. Number 5.
Your number 1 pick was a big bowl of hamburger meat.
You're picturing,
And you got something to say about my...
You're picturing a bowl of hamburger. No, picture a Five Guys burger with 2 patties and all the fixins.
No, you picked
Oh
a
my
hamburger.
I said hamburger. I can make it however I want. I got
You
one,
said steak later.
I want
Okay.
1 pound of hamburger. Make it how I want.
Okay.
What pick am I on? 5?
I don't know.
Number 5. I believe I'm on pick 5.
Okay.
Pizza.
We had that before the pair.
Yep, and I had it before Squaw Peak as well. I had it before Me Walk 100K.
Okay. I'm going to go a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A.
Your meals. We're never getting sponsors.
I'll have, okay.
It's like Wendy's, McDonald's, In and Out.
Wait, okay, I got it. For my top 5 pre-race meals, I will have, with my number 1 pick, a Rockstar. Number 2,
DC Peaks 55K.
Knack.
That's great. Okay. This has been fun today. Very fun. We got a Hard Rock recap. We got a fun pre-race dinner meal draft. We reviewed Lonesome 100, and we reviewed the Speedgoat 50K, all dressed up in our gear, shirts, hat, Speedgoat shoes. If you have not liked or subscribed to what we're doing here at the Next Aid Station, please do so. And we want to thank Rockstar for stepping up every single week with us, our podcast, our race. And thank you to DC Peaks, 25K, 55K, and 50 miler. And we got some big stuff coming from DC Peaks. Stay tuned. We got a few big announcements coming up in the next month or two. Big stuff coming from them. And we'll be announcing it here on the podcast later this month or early August. So stay tuned. It has been a fun day, fun morning. We'll see you next time. This has been the Next Aid Station.